We thought Netflix's deal to buy Warner Bros was done. I actually think they're the best option out of a bad bunch. But Paramount are apparently planning a hostile takeover supported by the Trump administration. Welcome to the Attack and Pulse podcast, your place for sci-fi news, rumor, and debate.
Our tachyon pulse has been unable to completely penetrate the anomaly.
Right. Okay, so there's already been some accusations that Paramount and Donald Trump are a little bit too friendly. That actually their deal to buy Paramount, Skydance, and Dave Ellison's relationship with Donald Trump allowed that to happen. They are friendly. They've been seen at events together. There was also an accusation, though, actually, that Paramount's decision to pay off Donald Trump, he was suing them over the whole 60 Minutes thing, and then Paramount paid him off. It smelled a bit fishy. But now, all of a sudden, within 24 hours of the announcement that Netflix had won the race to buy Warner Bros., it's turned out that Paramount are threatening legal action. They're actually threatening a hostile takeover. They're basically are planning to go to the shareholders directly with their $30 a share offer and basically bypass the Warner Brothers decision making. It seems that the CEO of Warner Brothers and Netflix are very friendly, and that's also been looked at as a little bit suspicious. Donald Trump's Department of Justice has now said that they are going to be opening a multi-year, they know how long it's going to take, a multi-year investigation into Netflix. This is not good for Netflix. A multi-year investigation into them. They think that there may be antitrust laws going on because they were lobbying Warner Brothers before the deal went through, and they said this may break antitrust laws. But also, they are looking into competition laws, whether Netflix is acting, in the correct way, and its dominance of the streaming providers. And it is the biggest streaming provider by a good distance, to be fair. I think Disney's number 2, then it's Amazon, and then actually Max. And as I said in my video when we were talking about how they were winning this, and we were hearing that they were going to win the deal, we did explain really that if HBO Max still existed and you just add those numbers on, Netflix would be way ahead of everybody else. I mean, by quite a long way. All of the sort of bodies that sort of represent actors and writers, and SAG-AFTRA and all those people, have all said that they think this is a bad idea, that they think that this is bad for the industry as a whole. I actually personally think it's probably a good thing, or the best out of the three, right? Because you've got Paramount, who own a bunch of, obviously, they own a streaming provider. I think they're about 5th in streaming, something like that, 5th or 6th. But they also own loads of news channels, terrestrial channels. They own massive studio space, etc., etc. If they bought Warner Brothers, they would be huge. But also, they would dominate studio space in California. They would have 2 of the biggest studio spaces, 2 of the backlots or whatever in California. They would then basically go up to in and around the size of Netflix, Disney, etc. So they wouldn't dominate streaming, but they'd be up there. And also, though, you'd have one owner of like CNN and all these other news organizations. So it's one more owner for less news, if that makes sense. So, you want news really to be owned by as many different people as you can. And it would basically, all the top ones would be owned by like 3 companies, which seems wrong to me. But, yeah, at least Netflix doesn't have any of that sort of thing. So it's a new owner. Or at least you're swapping one owner for another owner. You're still having the same number of owners into these sort of things in the industry. So I'd have thought that was a good thing, but everyone else seems to not. Universal or Comcast is in the same position. They own a bunch of news organizations like ABC, MSNBC, as NBC they own, whatever. They own a bunch of news organizations themselves. So again, I don't really want them buying Warner Brothers either and sort of taking over you know, all those. And just all the channels and things that we get, all the places we get our entertainment from. It would be one less owner in the, you know, in the industry and the biggest studio spaces. So I always thought Netflix was the best of a bad bunch, to be honest. The other thing is Paramount are backed by the Saudis massively. I mean, don't get Dave Ellison's daddy and Oracle are spending a lot of money on this as well, but it's Saudi Arabia that are funding it. We already know Saudi Arabia is very friendly with Trump. The fact, though, that within 24 hours, the DOJ have said they're going to investigate Netflix for antitrust and all this sort of thing. I'm sorry, for me, it stinks. It just sounds like Paramount are really not happy that they lost this deal. I don't think they should have even been in the race, but, you know, they've got their billions. And their mate, Donald Trump, is going to back them up. That's what it smells like. You know, this just smells as corrupt as hell to me. Do I want Netflix owning Warner Brothers? To be honest, I would be okay with it. Just from ignore the companies, ignore Netflix's behaviour. I don't really care about that. From an entertainment point of view, it'd be wicked. We've all got Netflix. We all do. And you'd get all that Warner Brothers stuff. You'd get a massive capacity for them to produce more stuff of their own. I just think it'd be best for the industry, for me. As a viewer, I think it'd be best for us. But all these industry people and the government seem to disagree. For me, Paramount lost. Give up. But for Netflix, they got to be looking at this and thinking, we ain't getting this through the regulators. Very clearly, the Donald Trump administration don't like this, and very clearly, the FTC, FCC, everyone else does exactly what Donald Trump wants, or what this administration wants. You know, you got the Project 2025 people very much in this mix as well. To me, this smells. But all this means is that Warner Brothers are not getting bought anytime soon. This can drag on, and it is gonna. Because, I mean, if Paramount try a hostile takeover, or if this gets dragged down into the regulators, Netflix can then go to court. They can start that whole process. These were final bids that they put in last week, and they were binding. Netflix won, even though Paramount is saying it's more valuable for some people. But do you actually remember that when Paramount was bought out by Skydance, there was another company that said their deal was better than Skydance's, but Skydance still got the win and got through the regulator very quickly once they'd paid their bribe or extorted. Stinks. But guys, get into the comments, tell me what you think. This one's going to drag on. But, you know, get in there. Tell us what you think. Does this stink? If you are new to the channel, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell notification. It really helps us out. You'll never miss any of our new videos. Also, you can become a member of the channel and get to see a lot of these videos before everybody else. Go check it out. As always, please stay safe, and I'll see you next time.
Our tachyon pulse has been unable to completely penetrate the anomaly.